Hello, Romans here and welcome to another music review. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician, as I am a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group Jakobe, and almost 4 years ago we released our debut album called Pursuits in Life. What makes it unique is that it's a heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out all of our music videos on my YouTube channel.
Make it count every day you can start anew. I want you to scream, life is now. There's nothing you can get through. Just don't give up the dream, yeah.
And in the description of all these videos you can find all the information about where is the record available. It's available on all digital platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp, but also in this digipack version of a CD with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. So, in case you want one, all you need to do is contact me via an email, on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can get one through Bandcamp as well. And today I'm going to review the new album from Tears for Fears, The Tipping Point.
Music review. Music review.
Tears for Fears. What a hard name to say if you really think about it. Tears for Fears. Don't need any introduction. They're one of the most successful acts from the 80s, to the point where they are one of the artists to actually define the decade. And you know, say what you will, a lot of people think that the production and the sounds from the 80s are very outdated. I personally love the 80s the most. That's the best music in my opinion. And therefore I'm also a huge fan of Tears for Fears. And I think that despite their undeniable commercial success and impact, which was huge, almost as huge as it could have been, their artistic impact and artistic influence is not overlooked even by like prog fans and metalheads. I think that they're one of the few of those 80s acts that really get the appreciation for their artistry, quite rightfully so, and that's why I'm including it on this channel. I'm quite familiar with their first 3 albums, not really familiar with the rest of it, but each of their records in the last couple of decades actually was kind of an event of the year, because this album, which is actually their 7th studio album, is their first new record in 18 years. It's kind of a long time, you know. Their last record was there in 2004 and the one before in 1995. So, you know, since the mid-90s, their records became more of an occasional thing. So the album came out something like a week ago. I've heard it 6 times as of now, so let's look at it. The album opens up with the track No Small Thing, which has like a country vibe. It's very emotional in that sitting by the fire and telling a story kind of fashion. It's also kind of minimalistic in terms of the instrumentation, which just strengthens the overall intimacy.
When I'm 40 years older, when I'm wrinkled and wise, I will trade all my liberty for that look in your eyes.
The title track, The Tipping Point, has some subtle electronics, which is something I wouldn't mind being a focal point of their sound, because it's very like current and up to date. And I think that this track is a pretty great example of art pop. It's not very obvious track, but it's catchy nevertheless. Art pop at its best. Long Time is a track that reminds me a little bit of Foxy Shazam, especially like the vocals. And it's a very chilling song with like summer vibes. Again, the melody is great, but it's not very intrusive, hence the term art pop. Break the Man is a bit more up-tempo track with, again, those positive summer vibes, and especially in verses it brings Advice for the Young at Heart track to mind from their third album.
She's the fire and the fallout. She reminds you of the things we never talk about. She's the lover with the pain.
Another more of an up-tempo song with a little bit of that electronic rock edge is the track My Demons. Let's just check one thing out. Probably the highlight of the album is Rivers of Mercy, which just grabbed me the first time I heard the record. It's a melancholic song with a little bit of that gospel touch, and to some degree it reminds me of the track Woman in Chains, which is from their third album, and it kind of reminds me of that stylistically. This was actually the track that got me into Tears for Fears, because when I heard the track I was like, I gotta check this band out. Please Be Happy is a bit more symphonic and musical as a track. It's almost like a Disney song, but in a good way, and also the trumpet is a great addition here.
But these days it's like a wave is breaking over you.
Master Plan is more classical pop tune with a little bit of that Britpop flavor thrown in, and even though I'm generally not very appreciative of Britpop, it's just something that it's very annoying music style for me, but here I don't really mind it. The synth sounds in The End of the Night seem to be both retrospective of the 80s but embracing the 20s as well. Again, we've got those very chilling positive vibes here, but mixed with a little bit of like urgency and unease. The final track, Stay, starts acoustically, then it goes into subtle electronics, and in a way it ends the record in the same way as the track No Small Thing opened it or started it. And this is another one of the highlights of the album. It's a beautiful, beautiful track that could have easily been on their first 3 albums, but at the same time it sounds very contemporary.
Stay, don't stay.
I think you can already tell that I really enjoyed this album. Wouldn't be making a review for it otherwise. Yeah, Tears for Fears are great, and this new album just proves that they still have a lot to say, and that they are still as relevant as they were in the 80s. And yeah, I wish there were more art pop artists like this, and I think that if radios were playing this type of music, the quality would have just gone up by like 100%. If you like this video and if you like the videos I'm making, consider supporting me by purchasing my debut album Pursuits in Life, because I include audio samples in my reviews and thus making them the most informative and entertaining to watch. I usually run a risk of getting a copyright claim, meaning that I won't be able to monetize my videos, and whatever money a video earns goes to the authors of the original audio samples, which I have no problems with. These artists and bands deserve all the support they can get, but these videos are extremely time consuming for me to make, so the best and the only way how you can support me at this point is by buying my debut album. I'm also having the second album it will come out sometime this year, and if you like Tears for Fears, if you like art pop is definitely one of the genres that I cover on my records, so I think you're gonna like it a lot. Also, kind of a new thing, if you're interested in finding out new music and great music, I have a playlist on Spotify called What I'm Listening to Now. You can find it in the description below, but you can find it also on my Jakobe artist profile on Spotify, where it's as the official artists playlist, and it's going to be updated every 2 weeks, and there's going to be songs from all the records I'm listening to at the current time. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find the links to both in the description below as well. If you like this review, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. You can check out my own original music, my live performances, my very popular Worst to Best series, and quite a lot of other reviews and series as well. Thanks a lot for watching.